In this video, I'll be showing you how an intraocular contact lens is implanted. This lens, otherwise known as ICL, is implanted in patients with high degrees of myopia as an alternative to LASIK refractive surgery. First of all, the intraocular lens is loaded onto a special injector system through which this lens can be injected into the eye. You can see now I'm putting a viscoelastic, which is a gel-like material, into the cartridge of the injector system. The lens is now carefully removed from its container and is carefully positioned into the injector cartridge. Once this lens is in position, the lens is then loaded onto the tip of the injector cartridge by means of a specially designed long forceps. You can see now the forceps is used to pull the lens through the injector system until it's near the front of the injector system. Next, two incision is carefully made on the cornea. One incision is larger than the other. Firstly, a small incision is made on the right hand side, following which a viscoelastic gel is introduced into the anterior part of the eye. Once the anterior part of the eye is stabilized, a larger incision is then made, measuring about 2.5 millimeters. Following which, the lens is introduced into the eye by the injector system, and this process has to be done fairly slowly and carefully. And once the lens is introduced in the eye, and once it has unfolded correctly, the anterior part of the eye is further stabilized before the lens is then positioned behind the iris. The next step you will see is how the different part of the lens is positioned behind the iris. The lens contains four corners or four legs, and this is carefully tucked underneath the iris by means of a special device. And once the lens is situated behind the iris and in front of the natural lens, the excess viscoelastic in the anterior chamber or the front part of the eye is then carefully flushed out by means of using a cannula, by introducing a special balanced salt solution in front. Now, once the gel has all been carefully flushed out, the procedure is then completed. It is important to remove all the gel because any retained gel inside the eye, this viscoelastic gel, can cause a rise in intraocular pressure, which can be quite uncomfortable. It can cause a headache post-operatively. Now, once the eye is secured and everything is in position, an antibiotic injection is then made so that to prevent any post-operative risk of infection. And as you can see, this procedure is now pretty much complete with the ICL lens situated in its right position. Thank you.